Yeah, good morning, everyone. Welcome to a new week. Nice to have you guys. I believe you guys, like Mubarak said, enjoyed the Easter gifts. Okay, so a quick recap. So last week we actually started out working on a web page. So we've left building of forms and yeah, those were pretty basic because what you will be building out for clients is just, can you guys hear me? So,
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
all right.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So because what you'll be building for clients is not just forms, you'll be building other complex things. So we actually took up this project and I really want us to follow on so that we can cover enough ground. Yeah. So there are a lot of things, there are a lot of things that you learn, especially when you're building projects. You get to see and try out things that you've not done before. You get to learn more. So without further much ado, so I'll just step right on it. I don't know if anybody has, if like I don't want to start out with questions now because if I start out with questions now, we'll not do what we are supposed to do for today. Because some people will not ask the question where they are supposed to ask. But nonetheless, I'll still give room for questions. So let's just start out. So for last week, we started out with creating out this header. So there were a lot of flags and align items that we had to do here to get this. So if we recall, this is an image. This is also an image. We had to export them. And then these are texts. So there was, I don't know, can someone remind me, looking at this design, there was a reason why we created a particular class. Yeah, so that to keep this off, I even answered myself. Okay, so we created a class that will prevent this logo and then this write-up from coming to the end. So that was a class. Can someone just remind me why we chose a class instead of maybe an ID? Does someone have an idea why we need something of that sort? And write in the chat or raise your hand if you have an idea. Okay, so okay, safe square, yeah.
Looking at the bottom of the page, we would be using that border too for the get your vehicle part and the mechanic image. So that class now, we can use it for multiple styling.
Okay, so yeah, so based on what you're saying, we're actually going to be repeating, we are going to be using it over and over. Yeah, so the reason it's a class is so that you can reuse it. If it were an ID, we would not be able to reuse that. So that's what we are trying to do here. So if you check very well, you see that we are still going to use that container class here, and then we are going to use it in this section because you notice that they are not touching the edges. So let's just get right to it. I believe we'll just go over this maybe with the video. I just want us to cover enough ground today, so at least yeah, we can continue from there. So we're in this section now. finish this header. Finish this header. And then here now, you notice that this is divided into two parts. Now the first one has this write-up with a button. This other part has an image. So how do we achieve that? Let's go to VS Code. I think I'll still need to export some stuff. So this is my header. I'm closing this header now. This is what we did last week. So I'm just going to write the hero section here. So I'm just calling it a hero section because it's like the main section, or yeah, where you get the central attraction and all of that. The call to action button is also there too. So I'm just going to use a section tag. I could also add an ID. Hero section. Right. So we've done that. Now notice that these two things, this side, this section, there's a space here, there's a space here. So the class that we gave it was this container class. So this container class, we gave it a width. If we check our style.css. So this container class gave a width of 80%, margin of 0 auto, so that it's actually centralized. So what we'll be doing is, in this for this hero section, we're still going to use that container class. Now notice that I did not use the container class from the beginning till the end. Like, I am creating different sections and I am using the container. So my container is quite flexible. Already okay. Yeah, Tolu, don't worry. I hope it actually does carry us. Okay, so for this section, yeah, so for this section, so we've done that container class. So I'm actually going to divide it into two sections. Now, if I were to divide this, okay, so sorry, give me a minute. Okay, sorry, can you guys hear me now? Hello, can you guys hear me? Hello, guys. Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right. Um, so if we are to divide this now, because we're still going to apply flex here, if you can actually see this. So we have two different sections. So if we're dividing this, how do we divide this? Anybody? We have to divide this. Yeah, Mubarak. Mubarak, you can answer. Okay, okay. I love it. Can you hear me? Can answer? Okay. Okay, so yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that. So yes. So what we can do, so I think I'll go with 50% for both sides. So I'm going to create a custom class. Now, the reason for this custom class is so that the reason for this custom class is so that I can reuse it when I want to. So I'm going to create a flex class so that I'll be able to reuse it anytime I want. So I'm going to call this class flex. Now inside this flex now, I'm going to do the text section. Okay, so the text section and then the image section. Sorry, I'm going on and off. So let me export this image so that we can just move on from there. So notice this image. Yep. Okay. So this is a combination of this and this and this. So for some people, they could actually just want to use positioning and arrange all of this individually. But what I will just do is I'm just going to pick everything at once. So this header image, I'm just going to pick it that way and I'll export it. So let me just confirm. So this is what I have. So I'm going to export this. So I'm going to export this. So I've exported it. Let me just put it inside my image. So this is downloads. I just want to drag it and just put it inside. All right. So this is header image. I'm just going to rename this because I don't like spaces in between. So header image. So when you're using images as much as, or even naming folders as much as possible, an issue. All right. So it's actually not a good practice to leave spaces in between. So I have this my header image here now. So I'm going to set it as a background image actually. So but let's see what it's actually going to look like. Or let me try it on the front. So IMG, and then I'm targeting the image and then header image. Let me expand this and increase my fonts for a safe square complaint again. So so the header image, I'm just going to say mechanic. And so let's see what we have. I save, I check my browser. Okay, so this is what we have. So this is what we have. All right. So I'm just going to add this text now beside it. So this text goes into the text section. So I'm just going to do a H1 and I'll get this text. And I'll just paste it. Okay. And then I have a button. So I'm just going to do the button below it. Okay, so button. Hope you guys can still hear me. Okay, that's nice. So I'm going to call this orange BTN, so like orange button. And then, yeah, so this is book a service. So I'm just going to put that. So let's see what we have. This is it here at the top. And we have this clock here, and then this. So I'm just going to export this clock. This is the clock. So if you see this open now, this open here consists of this icon, the text, and this. So what I need is just the clock. So if I come here and then I click on export, so this is the clock. So I'll just export this. Just go to my downloads, resize this, just drag this inside here. So rename this. So let's just fix this. Let's just fix up this section first so that it's arranged how it's supposed to be. So now you notice that we have this flex. This flex, like I said, it's actually a custom class that we want to create. So let me just close all of this. I'll do anything first. Okay, so yeah, now I'm going to define my class. So this is flex. Now this flex has a display of flex. That was why I created that. So we just know that they are side by side. Yeah, so basically this. So my text section, so I'm just going to do flex, or let me just do header section. So header, that header section or hero section rather. Yeah. So an ID of hero section. And then I'm targeting a text section. So we said we're actually going to divide it maybe 50. See how that goes. Okay, so there are questions about why I use this book is service. Okay, so it depends on what we are defining here. Okay, so if this is actually supposed to route to another page, so it's a very nice observation actually. So if this book is service, so let's look at this. So this book is service. If it's to take us to a particular page, that is when we'll use an anchor link. So I have not really gone through the entire Figma link to know if that form is available. So, okay. Okay, so what we are going to do is you can actually use an anchor link if this is a page, if this is a separate page, yeah. So you can actually use an anchor link. So don't nest, I don't think it's right to actually nest a button inside an anchor link. So what you should just do is just use an anchor link and then style it to be a button instead of nesting it inside it. Yeah, that's a better practice. Okay, um, so back to our real world now. So we are doing this text section. So text section. I'm also going to do a hero section. And then image section here. So since we're actually sharing it or dividing it equally, so let's see what that gives us. Now I have one funny thing happening. So see what is happening to this page. So this page is actually overflowing. And when you notice, if you notice something like this, you know that something is wrong with what you are doing. So this image actually has extra space. So which is the reason why instead of using it as an image in front, I'm just going to use it as a background image instead. So let's just fix that out. So I'm going to remove this from here. Okay. So this image section, I'm just going to get this. So let me see what we have now. So my page is back to normal. You can see it's that image that was disturbing me. But I'm actually going to, so this is the image section and this is the text. So I'm just going to add the background image now. So I'm copying this. So here now, I'm going to do a background image. Just going to do a URL / image. Then I'm getting the header image here. So let's see. So we have this here now. So I'm just going to do background size cover, background position, center. Okay, so if you notice, we have an issue here. So we need a certain height for this to actually come out well. So I'm going to give a height. Probably 80 VH. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, Lulu, what's your question? I see your hand is up. Count. Can you write your question in the chat? Okay, so while he's actually doing that, so my reason for using, instead of using 100 VH, so if I had used 100 VH, what would have happened? Let me change this to 100 VH. 1000. Yeah, so see this. So if you look at this thing now, you notice that we have a space at this bottom, we have a space here. We kind of have a space at the top here. So instead of giving this like 100 VH, I need this space, I need this space. So this is like, the whole of this is like, should be inside 100 VH on the spoon. So that's what we should actually try to achieve. So something I'm going to do now, I'm going to just say, so hero section. So I have a padding at the top, padding top and bottom. Let's just do 80 pixels. Left and right, 0. So let's see what we have. So we have space here, but this is long. So let me return to my 80 VH. Okay, so there's a question about using images. Normally, when you use an image, you should actually set it. If you're using a particular, let's say, like we use 50%, the way I would have fixed that was I would have targeted the image itself, that's the image tag, or given that image a class. And then I'll say it should have a width of 100%. Because if you don't constrain it to fit into that particular like 50%, your image can actually go wild. So if it's a very large image, it will just be as big as that. So that's why you have to ensure that your image has a width of 100%. Else, it will not, it will just overflow. So it's not like it's something advanced. It's something that you should know. Set it to a width of 100%. But I kind of have my reason for doing this as a background image, because there are spaces at the end which I don't want on our page. I just want it to be swallowed up like this. Now you just know that you won't even notice that something is actually happening. Yeah, so yes. All right, so let's just continue. Let's just continue. This space here. Let's just continue. All right, so let's see what we've done so far. So we have this. So moreover, that space is just the designer probably made an assumption. Then that's why we have that space there. So by right, that space shouldn't actually be there. I don't know, it's like we can't help it here. Okay, so coming over, so we've put this image, even though we have that space there. And then this text now, we kind of need to make it bigger, style out this button too. So let's see what's the size of this this text. So I'm going to inspect. So inspect here, I have a size of 64 pixels. So I'm just going to increase, I'm just going to target, I can just say text section and target the H1. I'll give it a font size of 64 pixels. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So this is what I have now. Then let's style out this button. So I called it orange button. And it has a color of, so it has this color. So I'm just going to get these two styles. I called it orange BTN. So let me adjust a bit. So I'm going to paste this here. So let's see what we have. It's actually going to be, so this is what we have. So we need to give it padding. So if you see here now, we have this padding thing here. So the padding here has top and bottom of 16 pixels, left and right 40 pixels. So that's what we're going to do. Just copy that. Easy developers. So yeah, so I need to adjust this. Let's take note of how you're styling things so that, so this is what we have now. Yeah. So I'm going to remove the underline. You know, it's an anchor tag. So anchor tags. Okay, so for anchor tags, you have this underline thing. So we are going to remove the text decoration. So for that underline, the text is, you use text decoration of none. Not none. So none. So that is off. And then the color here. So font size is 18 pixels. Color is white. So I'm going to add font size here. So speaking of copying, so I noticed that a couple of us, yes, the Figma design has some styles, but when you're creating your own page, you don't have to copy everything. If not, you also copy the positioning thing, and you really don't need that position thing. You don't need that absolute for most of your work, because if you notice, you're having absolutes everywhere. Background position of static. This is an absolute. So why do we need an absolute here? You don't need this absolute. So if you're the type that just comes here and oh, they have given us style, copy it and put it inside, you're going to run into problems. So know when, know when to copy the necessary, as in know the necessary things that you need to copy and just style out according to your taste and all of that. Okay, so back to the real world now. Yeah. Yeah, so that can happen. So let's go to our button now, because I really want us to cover enough ground. So I'm going to do a margin top of 35 pixels, okay? That is your work. So let me see. So still the inline thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a margin bottom instead. Seeing that my button did not accept the style I gave it. But if I do, okay, so let me just change this. So let me just do display. If I do display block, display inline block. All right, that's fine now. So display inline block means it will still reserve its position, as in its size. And then it now becomes a block level element. So it retains its size. Now, that margin I actually did, because it's an inline element, it did not accept that margin. So I couldn't give a space here, but now that I made it to be a block, you can add that space here. So that's what happened there. So, okay, we are supposed to change this to white. So a color of ash. So I believe everybody knows what that does. Okay, so we have this section. There's something that we're missing. So we're going to pardon this image. Okay, so because of this, so this space that is actually coming out here. So I think that covers up for every other distance. Poster, margin and padding. Somebody should answer him in the chat. All right, so we have this bottom section now, which we're actually supposed to fix. So if you notice, we have this clock here, and then we have we are open, and then this Monday to this. So what we are going to do here now is, as you've seen it now, we are just going to create a section or a container to hold both of them. So, and then we're going to use flex, so because we are combining this image and then this, so we're just going to do that. So in my index, so just below the anchor tag, I'm just going to create a time section. So that time section is a combination of my image. So I'm just going to add my image tag. So that image, for the image now, so for the image, I'm just going to do img/. So I have the clock there. I've run out of sentences in my head. Just doing that. And then I'm going to now add the text. So if you notice, this is a combination of two texts. So we have this smaller one and then this Monday to Friday. So I'm going to create a div. Inside that div, I'm going to create I can use a small tag. So a small tag is when you actually need a small text. So I'm getting this, pin this. Let me just change it to a paragraph instead. So we are open, and then I'm just going to do another paragraph here. So here now, I'm going to copy this other one, Monday to Friday. I'm going to put it inside here. So we have this. So let's see what we have. Okay, so this is what we have. Now, this is where we now use our flex. So this time section, I'm going to call it here. So I'm going to do a display of flex. Alternatively, what I could have done, remember that we created a class. So let me just comment this first. We created a class of flex, and this flex has only this. So I can actually just put this here. Now, I hope we know that we can actually combine more. We can have more than one class for the class attributes. I hope we do that. So if you see now, this is what we have. So using that flex class that we did earlier, I'm able to do this. So or instead of repeating and repeating, maybe display of flex, you can just create one custom class which you would add to wherever you want to use that. So when you start doing something like Tailwind, you see that, yeah, you have custom classes which you just call and then you just do your biddings. So now we have a little problem here, and that problem is that this our our image here is trying to survive here. So we kind of need to spread it out so that it actually stays in properly. So I'm going to do that time section thing. I hope somebody's actually not confused about what I did here, the flex thing. So if you're confused about that, what you can do is, instead of doing that custom class, you can just come here, just still do your display of flex. So whichever works for you. So it's still the same thing. Now, I want that image, so that's time section. And then I'm targeting the IMG. Let's say I want a width of 100%. Oh, yeah, so this is now the problem. So if you are doing this, so when you say 100% now, the guy gets greedy because it does not have anything that is constraining it. So what we would have done here is to put it in a div. I can just say image box. So inside here now. Really? Okay, so this image box now, so I'm just going to do time section. Then I'll target the image box, which should actually be a class. I missed the dots. Okay, so I'm just going to give this probably a width of 20%. And I'll just repeat this for, what did I call the other section? I didn't give it. Time. So I'm just giving it classes. So next section. So this can just take 80%. So both of them. So you know, remember the whole flex thing is 100%. And based on what you want to put inside it, you're not sharing it into percentages. So for the image, I want it to have a width of 20%. The text section should have a width of 80%. So, and this is still very large. Okay. Okay, time text. All right, sorry about that. Yes, that's why you're my eyes. Thank you. Time text. All right, so yeah, time. Okay. So yeah, we still have this. So I'm still going to reduce this to probably 10%. Let's see what we have. All right. Let's still go lower. 6%. All right. Okay, so we have this. So let me just confirm. So this is smaller. So let me just do 5% instead. So the time is kind of smaller. All right, so can work with this and work with this. So I'm just going to give this time section a margin top of let's just do 30 pixels, right? So I want this clock to actually be at the same level with this. I don't want this space at the bottom here. So I'll just do, so you could actually increase this to balance it out, but I actually increase this so I can just make this 95 so that you know that this and this sums up to give you 100%. So let's confirm something. So there's a space here. There's a space here. So that's one. Then I want to do align items. Yeah, I want to do align item center so that both of them will be balanced out. So my display of flex, so this is where I will do that align items because this is where we have the display of flex. So I'll do align items center so that it's all balanced out, both the top and the bottom section. Yeah. So that is there. And then what I want to do next is I want to give a margin right here. Margin right of 10 pixels. That we have space in them. Yeah. So that's what we have. There's something that we are missing. Okay, so yeah, let's just confirm that. Okay, so well, the line items worked, but for some reason, our image still looks like it's hanging. So let me see what can be done. So here now, say display. Then I want to align. I want to align items center. So I'm just checking out something, justify content. So it's, yeah. So now it's adjusted. So what I did was I had to make this, and let me, if I remove this additional styles. So I kind of wanted to centralize this image because from what I'm seeing here, from what I'm seeing here, it's hanging at the top. So I want it to be at the center here. We have some extra space at the bottom here. So what I did was I now had to try and centralize the image itself. So that's why I'm using this display flex align item center. and then justify content center. So remember I said you use it to perfectly center a div so far as it has a specific height. So that's what gave it this, so it kind of centralizes it here for us. So that's fine for us. Okay, so we've been able to fix that. So this is at the center of all of this that we're doing now. Okay, so is there anything that we are missing, people of God? So I think I'm just going to reduce this from 80 this thing because I want it to actually fit into a 100 VH. So I'm just going to check 70. So I don't want this to scroll. So that's why I'm trying to adjust it so that it fits accurately. So, 65. Yeah, so it doesn't scroll now. And this section now, this section, and so let me just confirm something. Let me check something. So if I bring this back, instead of using a background image, and I want to target the image now and give it a width of 100%. So I'm going to explain if it works out. I'm just trying to confirm something. So it's almost the same effects. It's the same effects that I'm getting here. So I'm getting the same effects that if I am using, but it's like this space is more. So if I'm using it as an image in front, the space here, it's looking more than when I'm using a background image. So I think I'll just stick to using a background image. So I wanted to just confirm something. Yeah, I'm returning to what I had. All right. This is what we have now. This is what we have. It's looking like this top and this bottom, they are not balanced out. So let me just do a 68 VH. So I just want it to balance out. That's why I'm just going back and forth. So yeah, I think we'll just make do with this. So for my text color here, the text color is actually a light brown. So I'll just give it a class of maybe light. Yeah, the light gray. So I'm just going to call light gray here. So let me just get that color. So the color is this 9191. size. Okay, so we have this now. So you can actually make this font bigger. Those are kind of fair. So that's basically for this section, but we have this teeny weeny problem. So I want this to actually balance out with the image here. This image is like 50% is actually not what is needed. So I'll probably change this. I'll do a 40, 60, and then let's see what comes out of it. I'm trying to balance it out because it's like sharing them equally. It's not working. Don't get confused. Need then it's 160%. Minimum height. So let's compare. So because something was not done properly, that's why we are having this issue. Because if you notice, this is higher. And I don't know why we have this extra space. So there's this extra space, there's this extra space, which is not letting us do what we are supposed to do. Well, okay, so guys, we'll just let me just return this. Let this be 45. Let's just be 55. And we'll just make do with it like this. Yeah, so you could actually crop it out and just use it. That will work. I do. So yeah, something that we could have done is to crop out. I can think of that. Okay, so we'll just go over to the next section. Now let's just yeah. Yes, so it's actually it could be because of the overlaps. I wanted to inspect. I don't want us to dwell too much on this, so let's just yes. So we could actually crop it out and then work on it. Yeah, we will not do that here now. Let's just go back to this next section. So this next section now, we have a couple of things here. So first of all is this background. So we're just going to create a code section. I'm just going to call it code section. So just to use the same ID convention. So let's just take a look at how I'm doing this. So let's call this. Okay, so section. Okay, code section. Okay, so inside this code section now notice that we have the same top and bottom. We have spaces at the top and at the bottom too. So same 100 VH thing that we need to balance out. So that's one. Number two, it has a grade section. Number three is that it is not touching the edges. So those three things, we have to factor them while we are doing this now. So I'm going to still use my container because that was what it was created for, container, so that it does not touch the edges. That's one. Number two, we are going to, so for this hero, this hero section, let's confirm something. So we did a padding. So padding top and bottom of 80 pixels. So we're also going to do the same thing for the code section. So if I don't want to repeat styles, I can just do a comma here and just add my code section. Yeah. So that's number one. But then we have this background. So we still need our code section so that we can actually give it that background. So code section. Then I need to get this background color. So inspect. And okay. So for some reason, okay, so this is the color. So the background is my color. This background. Okay, so let's see what we have. So because there's no content in it. So that's why we have this. It's just that padding that is giving us this extra, that's giving us an extra space. So here now, we still want to divide our page into, so I'll probably just divide it into maybe 40% because we have this space in between both of them. So I'm going to still call my flex class inside here. So this extra symbol. So here now, I'm going to call my flex class. Remember, it's a custom class that we created. Just going to call a right section. The left section, right section. I don't know my left and right, so left section. So depending on whatever name you want to give it. So we have a left section. So that left section, we now have this inside here. And then we also have this one. So I'm actually going to do the left section right section. I'm just going to give it 45. Yeah. So code section. Let's okay. Then so this should be an E. So I'm going to give a width of 45%. Yes. So I think I need space between both of them. So I could just do so let's just continue first before I do the abracadabra that I want to do there now. So here now, I'm going to use a H2 start. So this is my left section. So I come into my left section, H2, paste this. Then we have this inside here. So I'm actually going to use a list to achieve this. So because these are like list items, so I'm just going to use a list to achieve all of this. So I'm going to do a UL under here. And then we have an LI. Now inside that LI, notice what we have. So we have this image, yeah, our icons now. And then we have this other, yeah, we have the text. So this is what I will do. I'm just going to do a div. Yeah. Then inside here now, I will just do an image. Alternatively, I will just use the LI directly. I'm just doing a div, which we'll use display flex inside it. But yeah, the whole reason why I'm creating a div, I just want us to understand what is going on. So I have an image section or image box inside here. And then I'll have the text. So this div now, this div is either, so I can just call my flex class on it because remember that the whole reason why I'm using flex is because I have this display flex. I have this display flex for this flex class I created. So that's why I'm able to use it wherever I want to use it. So you can actually do that. You can also do the same for justify, space between, and all of that, and just call it where you need it. So I'm going to export this. So that's my icon. So let me just confirm that it's the right thing I want to export. So always confirm. So if I do a preview, yeah, so this is what I need. So I export. So I'm just going to keep this. If I export all of them at once, let me just export. So ensure you actually get what you want while exporting. So I have 3 icons, and I hope I don't miss. Okay, so We need this. I'm too lazy to start finding directories, so I'll just copy it like that and paste here. So this first one, I'll rename it, let's call it gear. And this other one, let's call it person. So there are people that will just they'll just use the icons that way. So I like I like things to be a bit orderly so that I know what I'm doing. So all right. So I've renamed my icons. So I'm going to use them where necessary now. So first things first. So my image box, this, I'm going to put my image inside here. So I'm just going to do this img, coming from the img folder, and then I'm getting here. All right. Okay. So inside here now, let's say I am going to use my H5. That's the text section. Now I'm trying to get everything in place first before doing the actual stuff. So I'm going to copy convenience service. I'm pasting it here. Then I have my paragraph. I have this whole write-up. So yeah. So let's see what we have so far. Okay, so this is what we have. So what we are going to do is, first things first, we'll remove the underline, I mean the dots, the list style. So I am targeting my code section. And the UL, and then I'm doing this style of none. I don't want these dots, so I've removed the dots. Now, the other thing I need to do is, so I need to get the left section. So let me adjust this. Then I get the H1, which is this H1 here. Oh, sorry, not H1. H2 actually. I want to give it a margin bottom. So I want to push this. I want to give a space between these two things. So that's why I'm going to do so H2 now. And I'll just say margin bottom 30 pixels. Okay, so we have this. So we need to share this out because if you look at this now, you see that we have this is up here, and then this section is not, it didn't get to the end here. So we need to resize this so that it fits into what we need. So I'm going to do the left section. So I'm copying this. Then I'm doing the image, what I call it, was that image box? Yeah, image box, yeah. So giving a width of 10%. Then text box. Giving a width of 60%. So let's see what we have. Okay. So end. So let's see where does end. Yes, end. So if I do 50% here, okay. But then this our image is, let's see, could it be the text? This is smaller, sure. So let me do 5%. Okay, so we need to actually set it to 100 pixels. That's, we need to target the image. So you're targeting the IMG now, so that it fits into that system. So this is that question that you were asking. So a width of 100%. You guys can hear me. Okay, so we have it smaller now. Yeah, can you guys hear me? You can just write in the chat. Hear me? All right. So yeah, so we have, so this width of 100% makes it so that you actually, it just fits into this, into the specific width that you set for that particular place. So I'm just going to do a margin right of 10 pixels for the image box. Yeah, so this is what we have now. So Divine, what was your question? Yes, I think I've not been following. My eyes have just been, I've been trying to follow the chat, but yeah, I can't say I'm doing that. Okay, so I use GitHub Copilot. If I don't know the suggestions that you asking of, so it gives me, yeah, it's like it's not even very active. It's not active today. So VS Code also gives you suggestions. So that can work. So let's just continue. This is 42. So I want to get out. Yes, so I have this. I want to just confirm. Just want to confirm some things. So the font size for this is 24 pixels. Let me just check now. So H5. So text box H5. Sorry about that. So you see that my names are getting longer and longer. I hope you're not getting confused. It's just a descendant. It's just going from parents. Yeah, it's just an ancestral listing down to the particular child that we want to style. So don't mind that it is long. That is just that I'm trying to keep things specific so that we don't have clashes. So font size of 24 pixels. Right. So the lower one, so I'm just going to target the paragraph. The paragraph here is 16 pixels, which is fine. 16 pixels, which is fine. So let me just give this a margin bottom of maybe 5 pixels. Okay, so yeah. So we can actually just do that. So that our so there are two ways of doing that. We could just add a break here. So this font size should actually be bigger. So I'm just going, okay, H2. This is, let me get the font size for it. So this is 58 pixels. No, that is too much. So font size of 58 pixels. Okay. Okay, so this whole section, this section now, I'm just going to duplicate it. Since we are almost running out of time, I felt I was going to change a few things. So this is my LI. So for this LI now, I'm just going to duplicate 3. Just going to do 4. So this is what I have. Notice that we have some spaces at the bottom here. So I'm just going to do a margin bottom for the LI. So remember we called the UL here. So I'm just going to do the LI. I'm just going to say margin bottom of, let's say, 20 pixels. Yeah, so I have a reason for that. I have a reason for making it 4. So you see 1, 2, 3. This other one now, I'm just going to remove what I had in the other section. So this image section. So I'm just going to put, this is an anchor tag. And then know more about us is there. My A is missing. So I'm also going to remove this. So the reason is that they are actually, so they're actually on the same line. So this is actually supposed to be on the same line. So that's why I just made it 4, and then this. So we're actually supposed to style this out so that it looks nicer and all. So here now, I just want to rush up this. So I'm just going to do H3. So it gets that. Then these are forms. So that your whole knowledge about forms now comes to play here now. So I'm just going to create a form under here. So now these forms, they don't have labels, they just have placeholders. So we're just going to create the form. So I'm just going to create inputs, or alternatively, I'll just create div, and then I'll do input box. Then I'll just do my inputs, type of text, add my placeholder, small letter. Placeholder here is, I have entire location. Oh, the person just did that. So you can actually make your own more interesting. So I'm just going to do enter your issue. Okay, so I'll just duplicate this into 4 places. Okay. So then I'll just bring my, so you see now that's the problem. So this should be this. I'm going to do a button here now. I'm just going to call class of orange. So this is not taking us to a particular page. This is supposed to perform something here. So I'll just do get equals here. So let's see what we have. Okay. So why is this like this? Our right section, do into the right section. Okay. Okay, so this is what is affecting our right section. So, I want to change this so that I don't I am trying to be specific. When yeah, can you guys hear me? Okay. Sorry about that breaking transmission. So I had a problem earlier. So this was not working the way I wanted it to work. So I want this my input to come out well. And then I also want this code to be larger. So seems you guys are going to complete this thing for me. So this is this code section, font size of 48 pixels. So I'm just going to do what I want to do here. Right form section. So I'm just going to get time is almost okay. So right form section. I actually had to change that because I noticed that something was flashing. So right form section. Since I changed, I have to also change this here. So right form section. I need to target the H3 font size 24 pixels. Then let's see. So for some reasons it's not working. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. And is it still not working? Still not working though. Have I done code section, right form section, code section, right form section, H3, font size of 24 pixels. All right. All right. So, love it. If if I find you, all right. So this H3. So why is this not 24? So it's like it's 48 rather, not 24. And I'm struggling with everything. 48. Yeah, so this is what we have. So the next thing is to fix this our inputs. So I'm just going to do a general input. And I'll give it a width of 100%. Yes, so this is what we have. So we're actually supposed to have a kind of space between here. But I think we'll just Okay, so so yes, we you guys are discussing in the chat section. So so this is what is going to happen. Um, so we have this whole form. We have the whole of this. How many sections left? Now it's long. It's long. So this is what is going to happen. So let me just give a pattern here so that top and bottom, let's just say 10 pixels. Let's give it a general distance. So this is what it's like I'm actually tired. So this is what we will do. We're going to, so you guys are going to do like these two sections. So I'm actually going to give out this code so that you just practice and then you can get up to a particular point. So these two sections, so this one and then this one, you guys are going to do it for me. And yeah. So because time is already fast spent. Fortunately, I couldn't even attend to questions. Natasha, I'm not scrolling any further. Which one is that? So we're actually going to do this section, this one, and then this what we offer section. So that's what we're going to do. So this is not very complete at the moment, but I believe we can start on with this one. So just do this section, these two sections, sorry. Yeah, so just take a wrap there. See how all these other sections. So so probably the next thing that we should actually, because we've actually been working on what do they call it? We've actually been working on CodePen for a while. So when you get the chance, just look into Git and GitHub. So that's like the next thing that's just do two sections. If the spirit leads you to actually, yeah, to complete it, you can actually complete it. Yeah, someone like Lovett, I know you will just finish it before the next class. So if if the spirit leads, so if the spirit okay, if the spirit leads you to actually finish it, or yeah, you can actually do that. So what I was saying, when you just get the chance, just start looking up Git and GitHub. So because we've been using CodePen, we've been using CodePen for now. So we are supposed to be pushing our code to GitHub. So that's the next thing that we'll look at. So that you can start using your VS Code and then pushing the code directly and not having to copy from VS Code to code. So that's the next thing that we should actually look at. So, but for for the meantime, let's just work on those two different sections. Is it because you guys do not unmute and talk today? So If, so if the spirit leads you, you can actually do more. Mubarak, state your complaint. So yeah, carousel is a sliding. Yeah. So just to encourage us, it's actually not easy. You so you just need to, yeah, you just need to keep pushing yourself because it's actually not easy. Sometimes you just get frustrated. Sometimes CSS will just block your eyes and then you just stay on one particular issue. But you should just keep going, keep building things. It helps you to, yeah, to have your grip. Yes, so JavaScript is another thing. So let's just go on and do, yeah, let's just, let's just go and do something, please. So thank you guys. So we'll just stop here. If you have questions, ask me on Slack. I'll attend to you. If you've not completed your tasks, or if you have pending issues, please attend to them as much as possible. I need you guys to actually get these skills. Very, very important. I need you guys to do well in these things. So thank you so much for joining in. Yeah. All right. See you on Slack.